Welcome back, everyone, to this edition of Leading Experts. I'm your host, Grayson Foster. Today, we're going to be discussing with one of the country's leading experts how you can make a fortune, either part-time or full-time, simply talking about what you know. If you want to cash in on your knowledge of the gift of the gab, then you better stay tuned. This show is going to absolutely blow you away. Stick around, Leading Experts. We'll be right back.
Welcome to this edition of Leading Experts. Leading Experts is informative and exciting. Leading Experts interviews authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs in all areas of business, so you become a much more informed consumer.
Welcome back, everyone. I am very fortunate to have with me today Tom Antion, who is a veteran of over 2,700 paid speaking engagements around the world. Tom is the author of the Wake 'em Up Video Professional Speaking System, the best-selling professional speaking course ever, and the publisher of the amazing publicspeaking.com, which is the largest public speaking membership website on the internet today. Tom has been asked over 90 times by the prestigious National Speakers Association to train other professional speakers how to earn more money speaking and how to make their audiences say, wow. Tom, welcome back to the show.
Oh, I am thrilled to be here again, and it's a lot cooler than it was the last time you brought me. It was 100 degrees.
Yes.
So it's great today. I love it.
December weather is much more pleasant. Very happy to have you here. All right, let's get to it. Now, as we all know, most people would rather die than have to speak in public. So tell us why people should even bother to sit and listen to this show today.
Well, Grayson, really, they are missing out on such a great part of their life. There's so many great benefits of being able to stand up and move people to action. Mm-hmm. Not only that, you can get paid for it. You can get great feelings. I'm going to tell you a story a little later of a lady that had been abused as a child, and I was able to open up a whole new world for her. These kind of feelings are priceless. So there's so many things, including getting raises and promotions at work. Mm-hmm. There's all kinds of great benefits of overcoming this little problem of fear.
But so many people are terrified of it.
They are.
Yeah.
That's most people say, well, they'd rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy.
Exactly. So what are some of the ways then that people can actually make money public speaking? Because I'm sure it's not something that even most people really think about.
In fact, a lady saw my bio one time and it said professional speaker, and she said, that's not really a job, is it?
Right, right.
Well, it can be. So throughout the show today, I'm going to tell you several different ways, probably about 8 or 9 ways that you can actually make money speaking. Okay. One of which is getting sponsorship. So let's say you had in fact, I know of a lady that speaks all about soy products. She's an expert on soy. Mm-hmm. She has 9 different companies pay her every time she speaks to a group about the benefits of soy products.
Really?
So that's called sponsorship. And the groups, of course, will take her because they don't have to pay to have her in. All these other companies pay her. So that's one way, sponsorship.
Okay, that's
now,
interesting.
Another way is being booked by what we call speakers bureaus. These are entities that companies call to look for speakers on leadership and change and diversity and all kinds of different topics. Mm-hmm. And the Speakers Bureau finds the job, gives it to you as the appropriate speaker, and takes a commission out of it. So you don't pay them, they take a commission out of the total. Okay. So that's another way to get paid to speak. All right. Now, a third way is public seminars. This way you can advertise or send emails out to people on your database and have them come in to see you in person and pay per person. Okay. And that's a third way you can make. So that's just 3 of the many ways you can use your mouth to make money.
Interesting.
Hey, you're doing one right now.
That's
right?
right,
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Now I got to figure out how I can get paid to talk about shopping. How about that?
There's plenty of people that do that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You get sponsors from Neiman Marcus and Macy's and everybody else. They would love you.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's go. Let's quit
We're going to
this
have to
gig
talk
and go
after
do
the
some
show.
big money.
Yeah, I like that. I like
Okay.
that. Okay, now we've heard of Toastmasters. I think most people have. Don't they train people to speak professionally? I mean, they're an entity that's been around for a long time.
They've been around a long time, but they're not designed to train professional speakers.
Okay.
Toastmasters is an excellent forum if you need a self-esteem boost, if you are afraid or scared to death to get up.
Okay.
They will let you stand up there and practice in a very supportive environment. They'll pat you on the back. They'll really give you a critique and attaboy kind of thing. But that's a far cry from being in front of audiences that eat their young. Okay?
Yeah.
Like if you were the last speaker between the group and the golf course here in Palm Springs,
right,
you better be good, Grayson. So that's
right.
a whole different thing than Toastmasters.
Yeah, you better be quick too because they want to hit that course.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, tell me about the lady, let me see, that wouldn't laugh at your humor seminar. Was she just having a bad day or?
She was having a bad life, Grayson, and this is where, when you're doing a humor seminar and a person is there all day and does not crack a smile, you cannot miss this person, right?
Yeah.
Everybody else having a good time, this person is having is not smiling, and I'm thinking to myself the whole time on stage, oh, I must have said something racist, sexist, I must have offended her, and so these are all going through my mind.
Right, right.
Well, at the end of the day, we're all packed up, my assistant's gone, she's hanging around, and I'm thinking, oh, am I going to get an earful right now? I must have done something, and I'll just take it like a man. She came up to me in tears, and she said, when I was a child, I was told to shut up, and my opinion wasn't important. We weren't allowed to laugh as little girls in my house. She said, I never thought I could have any humor in my life.
Wow.
You changed my whole life today.
Wow.
I get goose pimples to this day. It was 15 years ago,
Really?
just thinking about it. So that's one of the paybacks you can't put any dollar figures on.
That's
Grayson.
right. Because you really do change people's lives when you're public speaking.
You really do. It's a privilege up there, and you have a responsibility of what you say, because one person out there could change the whole way they look at their life for the better.
And as I mentioned in the opening of the show, you've given over 2,700 speeches.
Paid ones, yeah. That doesn't count all the freebies to get good enough to get paid for. Yeah.
You must have a lot of air miles, right?
I get around a little bit, that's for sure.
And can you share with us what is some of the topics that you speak on?
Well, I'm an internet marketing expert.
Okay.
Now, that's all I speak about now. But prior to that, I was a presentation skills expert. So I would teach people how to be great on stage, how to give sales presentations at work, and those kinds of things. So you need to hone in on topics. I don't speak to everybody on anything. That's a very low-level type of speaking.
Okay. All right. I do have to take a break.
Let's do it.
All right. When we come back from our first break, we'll talk about the many different ways you can make money professionally speaking. Stay with us. Leading Experts will be right back.
When I grow up, I want to get a great job and then get laid off. When I grow up, I want to move up the corporate ladder and then bump my head on the glass ceiling. I want to have so many student loans, I'll never get out of debt.
Isn't it time you grow up and take control of your future? At the Internet Marketing Training Center, you can study online at your pace to fit your schedule and graduate with the skills and knowledge to create, build, and market your own home-based business.
Can I be a fire truck?
Welcome back to Leading Experts, everyone. I'm Grayson Foster. I'm here today with Tom Antion. He is one of the country's leading experts when it comes to showing you how to make a fortune just by public speaking. All right, let's get right back to it, sir. So, how can you absolutely be sure that you're not going to bomb when you're speaking?
Well, Grayson, a lot of people see speakers and they say, oh, I could do that. It looks so smooth when you're on stage and they say just the right things. Well, a professional speaker won't just pop up there and just start talking. So if you don't want to bomb, what I do is I telephone interview at least 15 people that are going to be in the audience when I speak. And I interview them and I ask them, what's going on in your company? What's going on in your organization? Anything funny happen? And when you do this enough times, what happens is you get you know more about what's going on than they do because you've covered such a wide spectrum of the audience. And so if you address all the things they told you, joke about the things that they're laughing about, you just hit boom, grand slam every single time. And there's a lot of money on the line at the professional level.
Right.
So you can't afford to just pop in there and wing it.
Right.
So these pre-programmed interviews is where I make sure I hit a home run every time.
So you've got to do a little homework.
A little bit of homework,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of homework, yeah. My goal to make sure that they love me before I even get in the state I'm
Right.
speaking in, because when I've interviewed people, I know who the fun people are. When I get to the event, I look them up and I shake their hand and I say, hey, sit here, I might refer to you during the speech. And so now I know who all the friendly people are in the audience
Right.
that I can refer to. It's great if you do your homework.
Yeah, and it makes it very interactive as well.
Exactly.
Which is great.
They're
Keeps-
having
yeah.
a lot of fun, and you're an insider now instead of just the aloof expert.
Right. So can you share with us some of the tricks of the trade that you
Yeah,
have?
there's a
This
lot
is
of
very interesting.
There's a lot of things that you can do. I'll take this one for instance. This
Okay.
is a target I got at Walmart or something for archery or something.
Okay.
And let's say you had to deliver a message that was going to be very negative. Let's say you're in a corporation and you're the one that has to deliver the bad news.
All right.
Well, you might take this along and say, listen, I know everybody here knows that there's going to be some tough things coming up.
Right.
So I thought I would just bring this up so that you could shoot at me and make it a lot easier to hit me. All right. You see, you got a laugh out of that. And so what that does is that diffuses the anger a little bit.
Yeah.
It lets people laugh and relax and say, well, he's just the messenger. We shouldn't really be shooting him. Let's just hear what he has to say. So, or she. So
Right.
something little like that could change the whole outlook of a meeting because they're listening to you right from the beginning because you're not afraid to tease yourself a little
That's
bit.
true. Yeah.
Now, stuff here, you know, a lot of people think, well, what if I forget what to say?
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, you don't want to do that.
No.
You really look like a giant goober if
Yeah.
you're standing there just wondering what to say, right? So there's ways you can, and in fact, I have a terrible memory.
Okay.
Most people say, you could have never been a professional speaker with the memory you have. I forget what to say.
Okay.
So I have things hidden around the stage to remind me of what to say. Some of them are obvious, though. For instance, I did one in front of the I think it was the Executive Board of the Nuclear Regulatory Commission years ago.
Whoa.
With these crazy props.
Yeah.
All right, and so one of it was, let's say, when we started our company back in the old days.
Okay.
So I used the props to remind me of the points that I was trying to make.
Interesting.
And you can be wild with this or mild. So if I wanted to be mild, I would just hold these. And inside is hidden notes that I can refer to remember what to say.
That's
now,
clever.
All right, now, if I want to be a little more crazy, depending on the nature of the group, I might put it on. Okay. All right. Now, how do I look? Right?
Looks great with
thank
the
you.
outfit.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much. And if it's a real wild group or a big sales group or something, I'll take it out and put it on the top salesman or something like that, or salesperson. Say.
Okay.
So get them involved. So that's that. And then I might say, you know, we've got a really, when we first started this company, we were wild hippie types. You know, we would take any kind of business and do anything, and, you know, same thing. And I've got
Right.
hidden notes inside of what to say. And then I might get this bicycle helmet because I couldn't find my safari helmet, when I was coming here.
Right,
so I'll just
right.
make it up with a bicycle helmet. My safari helmet would have said, now we have to search for new business. But since I didn't have my safari helmet, I brought this and said, now we have to pedal uphill. Times are tough. And again, I got my notes hidden inside. See?
That's very clever.
So that's that. And then my tennis racket here. Just this past Sunday, I did a speech.
Okay.
And check this out, Grayson. I pulled $150,000 in sales in 90 minutes. And what part of the speech, see, he's got that sick look on her face. Yeah, I mean, and
How is that possible?
a month before, I did $237,000 at the back of the room of selling stuff, because if you can really move people to action, show them how you can help them, they want more of you. So this tennis racket was used to show, right at the end, I said, you know what, I've been playing tennis for 10 years, and I pretty much stunk the whole 10 years. So I decided to pay $200 and get a lesson from a professional coach who videotaped me, and I showed them how this certain angle on your wrist and all this stuff. And I said, and now I can hit the ball right through your head if I feel like it so hard, you know? And I said, that's the value of having a coach, somebody to lead you through what you need to do.
Yeah.
And boom, they wanted me to be their coach for what I was talking about. See? So
Interesting.
that's some tricks of the trade.
Wow, interesting. Can you give us just a few more ways of how people can make money speaking?
Yes, you don't always have to, Grayson, be standing up on a stage. We make a fortune in my business by telephone seminars. People call in from all around the world to a telephone bridge line. It's like a conference call.
Right.
And I give my speech by telephone. This is the coolest thing, Grayson, because you're a lovely lady, but you wouldn't have to dress up, you wouldn't have to do your hair, you wouldn't have to do your makeup. You could be there with your feet up and
In
your
my jammies
jammies
and a cup
doing
of
it.
coffee, and we're good to
People are
go.
doing this all around the world, selling their knowledge, and to the person calling in, they don't have to get the power suit on, fly somewhere, and all that. So corporations and organizations all around the world are using telephone seminars to convey their knowledge.
Interesting.
You can also get a job at a training company. There's Skill Path and national seminars who pay people to go out around the country to deliver their material. So you don't even have to have your own material. If you're a good presenter,
Right.
they'll pay you to go around and deliver it for them. And these seminars are going on all around the world, hundreds or thousands of them per day. So there's plenty of opportunity.
What about the travel opportunities that are available just through professional speaking?
This is a two-edged sword because it's tougher to travel. You know, I got tired of traveling a long time ago,
Right.
but now it's pretty tough to travel. But if you're new at this, and it's really nice when the bills are being paid. I went first class to Thailand and Singapore on somebody else's bill.
Right.
All right, see,
That's nice.
this smooths out the travel hassles a little bit for you.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of meetings held at destinations: Palm Springs, Orlando, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, all the great cities are where the meetings are held.
Right.
So you get to go there for free, and nobody's going to notice if you stop by at the casino after you did your speech.
Of course.
Right.
Now, just before we go to commercial break, doesn't a professional speaker actually have to be an author in order to get the credibility? I mean, I've heard of that.
Absolutely not. We've got college dropouts, high school dropouts, we got con men, we got bikers, everybody that you can imagine. We have dead speakers that make money. People dress up like Abe Lincoln and Ben Franklin, make more money than you can dream of. All right, so
That's
it's
crazy.
good to have products. We'll talk about that a little later, but
Okay.
you don't have to get started and make money speaking.
Okay, excellent. I do have to take a break, but when we come back from our next break, we'll continue to talk about how Tom can help you become a superstar speaker. Stick around, Leading Experts. We'll be right back.
When I grow up, I want to get a great job and then get laid off. When I grow up, I want to move up the corporate ladder and then bump my head on the glass ceiling. I want to have so many student loans, I'll never get out of debt.
Isn't it time you grow up and take control of your future? At the Internet Marketing Training Center, you can study online at your pace to fit your schedule and graduate with the skills and knowledge to create, build, and market your own home-based business.
Can I be a fire truck?
Welcome back to Leading Experts. I'm here with Tom Antion, and he is one of the country's leading experts when it comes to making money just using your gift of the gab. Tom, let's get right back to it.
All right, I'm with you.
How do you actually become a celebrity speaker?
Well, the thing is what most people see as a celebrity is somebody they might see on TV.
Right.
I'm a celebrity in my niche market. Say, trust me, Grayson, people don't tackle me for my autograph as I walk down the street, all right?
Okay.
But in some places, I mean, I just came back from a speech where 200 people must have been chasing me around to get their picture taken with me because I'm very well known in that niche.
Okay.
Now you can attack, the plumbing, I have a buddy that's a multimillionaire celebrity speaker in the lawn and garden tool equipment business, you know.
That's very strange.
It's strange,
Yeah.
see, but he's helped them make great businesses, and so when he's around, they just love him, and so don't try to be a gigantic celebrity worldwide.
Right.
Be in a niche, and you can own it and make a fortune.
That's unbelievable. So how do you make sure then that you keep in touch with, some of your audience members after you speak?
Well, that's really important because when you speak, people are all excited about you.
Right.
But as soon as they get out the door and to the next speaker, they might forget about you. So what I always do is I hold a drawing during the speech about halfway through, after they already love me and I've given them a lot of good stuff. And I say, hey, put your business cards in and we're going to win a big prize. And so when they give me those cards, I also say, and if it's okay to get emails from me, just don't write anything. If you don't want emails, write no emails. Well, hardly anybody does it after they love you.
Right.
So all of those names get in my database, which I then send out offers to of continuing education or seminars or other speeches that I'm doing. So this is how you take one speech. See, anytime I stand in front of an audience, I see $1 million. And I know it sounds hocus pocus.
Yeah.
But over a couple years, if those people stay in my database and buy my new CDs and DVDs, an audience of 500 or 600 people can turn into about $1 million for me. So that's why I only speak 5 or 6 times a year.
That is incredible.
It's incredible.
What do you do if your time gets cut when you're speaking?
All right, this is another what I call a genius technique. So this is performance. And all the time you go to a place and the leader, the president, gets drunk and goes on for 20 extra minutes, and it's all kinds of things can get the schedule thrown off.
Okay.
So we have a series of genius techniques. So in this case, let's say you had a 4-minute story you were going to tell about something.
Okay.
You get a quotation that makes the same point as the story, and you just substitute that, and you just chopped 4 minutes off your speech without sweating and running to the restroom and getting all worried about it. So there's loads of little tricks. That's why when people see somebody on stage, they say, oh, it's so easy. Well, it's not so easy. You have to know all those little things so it looks easy when you actually get there.
Right. Now, you're in the top 1% of speaker income. You've obviously been very successful. But you said you only speak 6 or 7 times a year. Well, how is that possible?
The way that happens is because of back of the room product sales. After you do a great job and show people how you can help them, and they see you in person and they see you're genuine and you care about helping them, they want more of you. They want to take you home with them. And so if you don't give them a chance to by the means of products or mentor or coaching programs or something, they'll go home and say, what a great speaker that was, and that's the end of the money trail.
Right.
But if you prepare ahead of time, coaching programs and retreats and seminars and DVDs and CDs and all the things that they could take home with them, then that's where the big money comes from. So as little as 500 people can mean $1 million to you.
Right.
See? And this is no hocus pocus, but this is the field we play in, and that's how you can quit flying everywhere. Is if you like to fly, go ahead for it, but I'm tired of it, so I want to speak a few times a year and make a lot of money.
But the really interesting thing is you're really changing people's lives. I mean, you must see that with your clients, right?
That's the icing on the cake. When they call me up and they're thrilled to death that they're I help them with internet marketing. That's my main thing.
Right.
When they call me up, they're so thrilled that their first sale came in, went ka-ching on their computer, and they're like, oh, yay, and they can't wait to tell me, and I just sit there. It's like a bunch of my kids out there, doing very well. So it's very rewarding.
Excellent. Can you give us a couple more ways of how people can actually make money professionally speaking?
Yeah, now the next one is not technically professionally speaking, but a lot of people have opportunities to speak at work, but most other people don't want them. They hate speaking, so they're not going to volunteer for speaking at work.
Right.
But corporations and organizations all need community speakers to go out and do community talks and spread the goodwill in the area.
Right.
And most people want, they have to beg people to do it or go outside and hire people to do it. So all you have to do is raise your hand, and you'll get picked, and you can go and hone your speaking and be getting paid a paycheck through your company, but doing work that's much more rewarding and much more fun.
I think a lot of people think that they have to be funny when they're giving a speech. Is that true?
Well, you don't have to be funny.
Yeah.
You do need to put a reasonable amount of entertainment value in your talk. For instance, these props I showed you, they're lighthearted. There's visuals that you can show. You don't have to be a comedian, in other words. You don't have to tell jokes. I never tell jokes. I create situations that are funny. I show funny visuals, funny props, tell funny stories of things that happened to me. They really love that. If
Yeah.
something a big shot expert screwed up. The story I just told Sunday was about how I fell asleep in the airport and I couldn't lay down, so I'm like this with my hands on my knees, and there was a lady sitting across from me when I woke up, very pretty like you, and I smiled at her and she smiled back, but her smile was kind of charitable, I thought, because I looked down on my overcoat and there was a big puddle. I'd been drooling in front of this lady for the past hour, you know.
No.
So when people see you're real and you can make fun of yourself and show your foibles, they just love you. So it's funny, but you're not a comedian.
Right, right. You're a real person.
You're a real
That's
person,
what-
have just as many troubles as they do, and you just happen to be up here talking to them.
Right. That's what people want to connect with.
Yes.
All right. So tell us about your membership site. It's been running on the bottom of the screen there, amazingpublicspeaking.com, and how that helps speakers.
Well, the thing is, Grayson, I've been doing this professionally since 1991. I don't know how many years that's going to be when they see this, but
Yeah.
a long time, all right?
Yeah.
And I have coached people all through the years, but I can't get to everybody that needs help. So what I did is I hired a person to digitize all my videos from all these years and make training videos out of them, of all the techniques that I use on stage, and we put them up on the training site. So for a very low fee, you know, it costs a fortune to have me do it in person,
Right.
but for a very low fee, they can see all this training at the professional level right online. It's just amazing, and people are already getting results, and they have a discussion board, and they're learning how to sell at the back of the room, and they're learning how to be great on stage and how to be funny. It's just a great resource. I like to do the biggest bang, you know, so it's the biggest collection of these kinds of videos anywhere in the world.
Wow, that's great. Now, just before we go, you told me that you wanted to comment on the social life of speakers.
Well, that's the one more benefit that I kind of ignored for a moment, but you get to travel, you get cruises. I don't even think we talked about cruises.
Yeah, we never made it
Yeah,
there.
you can get, you don't get paid, but you can trade speeches for taking beautiful cruises, and you don't have to ride in the engine room either, like
Right.
the hired help, all right?
Yeah.
You get the full money. But the social life is you can be an ugly guy like me and still get great relationships going. People love you when you're a speaker. I've seen some of the ugliest guys like me have the prettiest women, and the ugliest women have the greatest guys, because if they see you up on stage, they think you're a god or something.
You're a
so
star.
you can have all of this if you just get over that fear of speaking.
Tom, I gotta go. It's been
All
a
right,
pleasure.
thanks so
Thank
much,
you
Grayson.
for being here.
I'll see you on stage one of these days, too.
Absolutely. If you'd like to check out the world of professional level speaking so that you can get raises and promotions at work or make big money as a professional speaker, then I would say stop what you're doing and take 1 minute to go to amazingpublicspeaking.com. I want to thank you for watching this edition of Leading Experts. We'll see you next time.
When I grow up, I want to get a great job and then get laid off. When I grow up, I want to move up the corporate ladder and then bump my head on the glass ceiling. I want to have so many student loans, I'll never get out of debt.
Isn't it time you grow up and take control of your future? At the Internet Marketing Training Center, you can study online at your pace to fit your schedule and graduate with the skills and knowledge to create, build, and market your own home-based business.
Can I be a fire truck?